Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. It has been a hot minute since I posted any content, and in that time I have finished my first year of the program, so I thought it would be very fitting to do a catch-up and also rate my first year on a scale of 1 to 10. Since I last made a video, I have been working. My course load dropped towards the end, and then obviously the program finished. So when my course load dropped and I started working, I didn't really have much time to sit down and make any videos, and I also started to do things that I've been neglecting because I didn't have the time to do before. So that's why I kind of went MIA. And then when the program finished, I took about a whole week to let it sink in that I'm done before I even thought about nursing school again. So definitely needed a breather for a bit. But yeah, so in the updates, if you follow my Instagram, you'll see all my updates. That's a shameless plug, follow it, because I cannot keep up with making these videos. So if you want to see more updates and answers to your questions, I do post Q&As where I try and get back to burning questions. So if you follow it, you might be able to stay more up to date with what's going on. On there, I did post that I was going to quit my CAMH clinical externship, or not quit, but not extend it throughout the end of the summer. And the reason for that was because I wanted to take a break in the summer. I was hopeful to go traveling, but obviously that's not really going to happen yet. Another reason was that I wasn't really enjoying the role that I was doing. So as a clinical extern, your scope of practice is very narrow. So it's even more narrow than it is as a nursing student. So there's not that much you can do in certain units. So I thought, if I'm going to continue in this unit, I don't want to do it in the summer. But then I found out that we can actually switch over to different units that may be more appealing to me, and I ended up getting a unit that I want to try out. So I thought, if I'm doing one 12-hour shift a week, I still have enough time for a break, and I also can gain this experience along the way. That being said, I recently posted that I also got a job at Mount Sinai in the ICU as a clinical extern. So how that happened was Mount Sinai reached out to their clinical students, or students that had placement at Mount Sinai before. I'm not sure if it's just a U of T thing or not. Someone, if you know the answer, please comment below. But they did reach out to students that were there before and said, if you want a job as a clinical extern, just send your resume and they will get back to you if they want to hire you. So I did that. I just sent my resume. I mean, I didn't really think much of it. I thought, if I get the job, then I'll think about whether I want to do it or not, and that's fine. So I thought I would give it a try. And so I did send it in, and I kind of forgot about it. Like, I wasn't really thinking about it much. And then I did get an email saying that I got hired in the ICU. So if I want to continue, I can do that. And the good thing about that was I put that I only want to do 8-hour shifts. And so they do have that option. So I'm thinking, if I do one 12-hour shift at CAMH and one 8-hour shift in the ICU at Mount Sinai, I'm gaining a lot of experience. I'm not gonna be bored in the summer, because I feel like I wanted to travel and do more things, but because COVID and the pandemic is still a thing, I can't do as many things as I wanted to do originally. So it's giving me something to do. Also, I'm making some cash on the side, which is great. I mean, who doesn't like money? So, and at the same time, I'm not overworking myself because I'm only going to be working twice a week. So that is my thought process on it. Because I know a lot of people ask me, like, how do you balance this and this and this? Are you working in the summer? Blah, blah, blah. I did originally think that I wanted to have it off because by this time next year, hopefully I will be getting ready to write my NCLEX and working full time. And so I thought, this is my last summer to have a break. But at the same time, I don't feel like I really wanted like a full break of doing nothing. Like, I wanted to do at least something. So I thought I would just stick with it. So rating the program. I talked a lot about the program throughout the year. So I'm just going to do a quick rating of a scale of 1 to 10, what I would rate the program. Keeping in mind, this is my own opinion. And also, I had my first year in a pandemic. So my rating might be different in a year of someone who did not take the program in a pandemic. But overall, I would rate the program a 7 out of 10. It wasn't worthy of a 10 out of 10 because, I mean, I didn't get to do lab, which I thought would be very useful. Again, that's not the school's fault. That literally just happened because of COVID. But also, I did have some experiences in clinical that like weren't the best experiences in terms of the environment. And I know some other students that also had some questionable clinical experiences, but I also think that for the most part, my clinical experiences were amazing. So I'm not gonna bash the entire program because of one clinical experience. but it definitely does impact you, because as a nursing student, you already feel somewhat of a burden when you're in your clinical practice settings. You're scared of making mistakes, you're scared of being in the way. And so when the environment is not supportive of students, that can really have a big impact on you and your experience in the program. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I don't want to make this about bashing a certain area, hospital, unit, etc. I don't want to, it's not a bashing video, but I just want to put that out there that it's not always going to be an amazing experience in every single clinical placement that you get put in. Some clinical placements are going to be better than others, and others might just be there as a learning opportunity for you to know that not everything is going to be roses and peaches in the program. There are some things that can be a little bit questionable along the way, so just be ready for that. But definitely lean on your peers and talk to them. You do get to write a reflection at the end, so you can kind of relay that information to the instructors as well. Another reason why I wouldn't give it a full 10 out of 10 is because I felt like there were too many papers. We had to write 3 nursing care plans. I feel like 2 would have been way more than enough. But again, that's my own personal opinion because I am a paper hater. Yeah, I just did not enjoy that. I feel like it didn't really enhance my learning, and I feel like writing 1 or 2 would be enhancing my learning. 3 was just a little much. Like, there was no need for that. In my opinion, again, in my opinion. I also didn't rate it a 10 because I got my second to last choice in one of my placements. Again, that's not anyone's fault, but it was kind of disappointing because I was really looking forward to working in a certain hospital, or even like one of my top 3 hospitals, maybe even top 4, maybe even top 5, but I got like a hospital that I just had to rate because you have to rate every single hospital. And so it was really shocking when I saw I was in a hospital that like was close to the end of my, like almost last on my list. Then again, like you can't be entitled. Like you get what you get and you don't get upset, but I can take out some ratings because it was a little bit of a shock and a little bit upsetting, but that's okay. Also, in terms of like courses, there were some courses where I felt like I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10 because that could have been, I feel like it could have been taught differently. Some courses I feel like I taught myself more than being taught, which is fine. I'm fine with teaching myself, like reading the textbook, but I don't feel like the exams were fair. I feel like they were just hard for no reason, and that's not every course. For the most part, I feel like the courses were great. It was just maybe 1 or 2 courses and maybe 1 or 2 finals. We were all like a little bit like, I don't really know where those questions came from. There were some exams where I was a little bit like, that was too long and not enough time. Again, we're writing online, so I guess it makes it a little bit more difficult. It was too much for the amount of time that you were given. Some of the questions were statistic-based when they were said they were not gonna be statistic-based. So that just like, automatic, I'm like, okay, that's weird. Like, you said there wasn't gonna be any. But then again, like, trying to stay positive, that was only 1 course, 1 exam. Maybe a few exams were too heavy, too long. And I think, again, that has to do with the online formatting. I feel like if we were in person, it might have been easier. I'm hoping by next year they're going to allow us to go into person to write exams. Fingers crossed, nobody really knows what's going on at this point. At this point, I am just going to be working in summer. Not too much, as I explained. Also catching up on life, like hanging out with friends, hanging out with family, doing a bunch of like little hobbies on the side that I wanted to catch up on, do these videos that I also want to do, and at the same time, taking some time to just have fun, do fun things, and enjoy my summer. We have our preparedness permit coming up again, so at the end of June, I have to start. I probably should start now, like looking at booking my BLS course and getting my immunizations back up to date and my police record check. For those of you who are joining us in September are probably going through this right now as well. I have a lot of like paperwork and courses, or like 1 course to do before you start in September. So you should start planning that out now if you are starting in September. Get that ready to go so it's not something that you're doing last minute. Preparing for 2nd year already, which is kind of sad because I feel like I did just finish, but that's the thing with accelerated nursing. I was thinking when I'm ready, I'm actually ready now, which is weird, but I want to do a shop with me video for back to school in September, and that's where I'll do all the clinical updates. So all the clinical necessity updates, I will do a whole haul, also show all the new stuff that I'm gonna get, and hopefully do that. Leave some time. I'll probably do that earlier than necessary so that people that are shopping for September have some time to grab the stuff if they see something that they want or might be useful. So yeah, I'm hoping I'm gonna do that soon. If you have any other video suggestions, please comment below and follow my Instagram. That's where I'm gonna be doing most of my updates. Yeah, so thank you for watching. Sorry it's been a hot minute. This was just a quick check-in. Hope you guys enjoy your summer. Thank you for all your support, and I will see you next time.